Interview on a conservative network called Real America's Voice. Here it is, Donald Trump talking about the jury in his trial.
That jury was picked so fast, 95% Democrats. The area is mostly all Democrat. You think of it as just a purely Democrat area. It's a very unfair situation, that I can tell you.
That jury, 95% Democrats. Again, the last item in the gag order forbids Trump from making or directing others to make public statements about any prospective juror or any juror in this criminal proceeding. Andrew Weissmann, still with us here tonight. The gag order has been the discussion that I feel like we've had around the edges of this case a lot, because it's the way that Trump has tried to kind of shape the environment around this case. It's going to be in the courtroom front and center tomorrow morning at 9:30. What do you expect Judge Merchan is going to do? What are you going to be watching for?
So you have Donald Trump clearly goading the judge. The fact that he's doing something that appears by all accounts to be a direct violation of the order as late as tonight, in advance of a 9:30 hearing on violations with respect to witnesses and a violation with respect to jurors, both of which are things that a judge is going to care tremendously about. I think obviously he's going to hear from the defense, and, the betting is that he's going to certainly say that there was a violation, and he could impose the fine that is obviously negligible, and he can saber rattle about what's next. This is one where what I would say, if he were sitting right here, I would say leave aside politics, leave aside what he's goading somebody to do. What would you do for any other defendant? We have seen the legal system bend over sort of so far to accommodate Donald Trump. He is not being treated worse. He is being treated so much better.
The breaking news this Monday, the prosecution have brought forward their first witness in the hush money case, which is currently being heard in New York. And Trump's lawyers have had, well, it's hardly a surprise. I would say they're underprepared. They are literally not probably the best lawyers available to anybody in a defense trial. And, wow, it went exactly as you would have predicted.
I just think it's so good. And it brings the moisture so it's not dry.
So what vegetables are we using? Celery?
We use celery and carrots.
Celery and carrots.
But I love these. I had to go to 2 different places because Joseph's didn't have
The carrots.
chips.
Oh, the carrot chips.
The chips. So I brought 2 sizes, the chips. And then there's these little ones I'll throw in there too. But
Inside Donald Trump's prison cell, the surroundings are like any other small enclosed space. The walls are gray concrete, and a narrow cot with a thin mattress is the only piece of furniture. A tiny metal sink and toilet combo sit in one corner, while a small barred window allows a sliver of natural light to filter in. The sound of clanking bars echoes through the air as guards patrol the hallway outside.
What is... President Trump is 76 years old. He will die in federal prison.
Trump spends his days pacing the limited floor space. The once powerful man now finds himself in a place of confinement.
The fact that the former president, has no family with him, no, friends. He's just got his legal team. I understand he talked about this. He was upset about the lack of proximity of supporters outside the courthouse.
Yeah, so it has been striking that there's no family, because I know that there was some discussion at some point in the last couple of weeks about who would be with him in court. And last week, which was just jury selection, there weren't that many people. Today, there was a phalanx of lawyers from his other cases and from the Trump org who showed up in court, but I think it's because they were next door dealing with this New York Attorney General appeal. He is he is by himself, and when he feels boosted is by his supporters. And so he has been hoping for something of a circus around his trial. But the reality, Anderson, is that only 2 to 3 dozen supporters max over the last week have shown up. And they're positioned to protest / demonstrate / whatever across the street from the courthouse. Trump started trying to suggest on Truth Social that that's why the number's been so small, is that they're all being blocked. But that's not it. It's that people are not showing up.
Something I could do with your help on. Ainsley on Fox, is she basically saying if you do the crime and you get caught later, that means you won't want to go into politics? Or is she saying don't do the crime in the first place? Or is she saying, oh, people have done the crime, but let's forget about it? She has a daughter. I'm just asking the question, if anything happens to her daughter at any stage, is she saying a few years down the line, it doesn't matter? Please help me out, because I'm a bit confused.
But look, the consequence of this case, it could be life-altering for the former president. And that's in the hands of these 12 people.
Does this set a precedent for other people who want to run for president? What if they've done something like this in the past and they could say, oh, well, they told me in 8th grade they wanted to run for president, so since they paid off a girl when they were 30 years old, then that was election interference. Right.
Anyway, right back to Whingy Guy here. Props and to MSNBC, who literally just decided enough is enough. And well, you see for yourself. Talk about fact-checking in real time. Stop that garbage like this. And that, what she just said, is one of the problems with this particular case in terms of like whatever goes on in the court, he comes out, says what he's got to say. Obviously, all the networks take what he has to say. He never answers any questions. There's no follow-up. So it's almost like nothing is being fact-checked. And for the Trumpy Trumps who believe anything, I mean, literally, if he says he's going to drop an egg from the space or drop an egg from the moon and it will land, fine, they'll believe it. That's the problem going on right now. I don't know what the answer is. And if anyone can let me know below, are any of the other court cases he has coming up, are any of them due to be televised? Something tells me perhaps in Georgia. But if you could confirm that for me, please. Thank you.
We're going to sear this 4 to 5 minutes. Salt and pepper. Look at that beauty.
He's nervous.
What'd you do? On Tuesday, April 4th, 2023, Donald Trump entered a Manhattan courtroom and pled not guilty to 34 crimes.
Squash it.
I'm 22. I'm 22.